Hi everybody, I'm Brian with Fort Knox Company, and I want to show you how to install a handheld shower head to your existing shower, how easy it's going to be. We will be drilling through a little bit of tile, but it's something you can do yourself. Let me show you step by step how to get this thing done. What you're going to need first is one of these three-way water diverters. You can find these in all different brands and finishes. This right here is a Delta, and they also make Brizo. They have two different brands under the same company, but they have different finishes that match this. These are Brizo, and then the other ones are Delta in our shower. But again, they're the same finishes, so do a little bit of research and you can find ones that match. So looking at these pieces here, you can see they have a rubber washer in there that's going to help create that watertight seal. Normally with these types of fittings, you do not need to actually put any plumber's tape on it, but I will be doing plumber's tape just as an added step or precaution. But again, you usually don't need that. When you bottom out these fittings on the threads, it will actually create a watertight seal. One of the things I do while I'm installing plumbing fixtures, especially with these nice finishes, is I like to protect it with some painter's tape. Usually you're just going to use the wrench that you have to just loosen it, and then the rest of it can be done by hand. But I do like to use plumber's tape just to protect those surfaces so we don't scratch it. You can see inside the shower head all these little pieces of debris and rock. This is a whole separate video and discussion, but this could be why you might have bad water flow inside of your fixtures in your house. We're going to remove the old plumber's tape, which can be kind of fun or frustrating depending on how you look at it. Then we are going to apply a new layer of plumber's tape, wrapping in the direction that we will be tightening, which in this case will be clockwise. Then we can go ahead and put on our diverter. We're going to be tightening this down by hand. And then again, we can put the blue tape on top of this and tighten it the rest of the way. These things you do not want to tighten all the way down too hard. They're going to be very snug, but you don't want to feel like you can't get any more out of it. You are not supposed to be bottoming out these fixtures to the extreme, so very snug is how I would recommend it. Then we are going to be putting some more plumber's tape on the next set of threads where the shower head will eventually go back on. And then while we're at it, we'll go ahead and put some plumber's tape on the fitting that will hold the hose, which actually goes down and around to our handheld shower fixture. Now we're going to figure out exactly where we want to mount this. We could either go on the left-hand side between the two fixtures that we have here, but ultimately we decided to put it on the right-hand side because we don't want it to be too crowded there. I think that the look is a little bit better off to the side. The main purpose of this is to be able to help rinse down the inside of the shower for us. We're going to tighten down that hose while we're at it since we have it in our hand already, and then we can use the shower head to put in place later. Figuring the height that we want for this shower head, we want to use the base bracket that they have as a guide or a template on where we're going to drill our holes. I specifically am choosing a grout line here because it will be a lot easier to drill through, and you'll have less chance of cracking or splitting a tile. After making a mark with a pencil, I used our handheld drill with some concrete drill bits. I let the drill do the work here. I don't apply too much pressure. This does take a little bit of time, but let the drill and the drill bit do the work. I start with a smaller drill bit at first to create sort of a pilot hole, and then eventually I will move up to a larger drill bit, and that way I can make sure that both of my holes are staying on center. Here you can see it finally pop through the backboard, and I made it all the way through the grout, and then we can go ahead and work on the second hole. This is probably the longest part of the whole process, letting the drill and the drill bit do the work for you. You can see here we have minimal chipping and cracking, and that's because we took our time while we were drilling. I'm going to then move up in size in drill bits and do the exact same thing. Let the drill do the work, but it should be a little bit easier this time since we have those pilot holes. The main reason for this is that if I start with the large one and for whatever reason the drill wants to move a little bit on the hard surface, it might create the hole off center. Once I have both of these drilled out, I can go ahead and put my plastic anchors in. Once those anchors are in, I would recommend using a rubber end mallet or a rubber hammer just to tap them in and secure them in place. Then we can go ahead and put our base plate on, and obviously the holes line up perfectly because we use this base plate as a template in the beginning. Tighten them down by hand, and again, very snug and very secure, but you do not want to max out these threads. Then we can go ahead and put our sleeve on. We will then secure the sleeve down with this mounting bracket that we have here. It tightens down just like a nut, but it is a ball joint, so you don't want this too tight because you could adjust this by hand, and you can adjust it as you see fit over time. And then we're pretty much done with the handheld portion. Last step is to go ahead and reinstall your shower head. You can do most of this by hand, and then at the very end, I would put the blue tape back over that nut and tighten it down very snug. Then all you have to do is remove that blue tape, and we are ready to go. Turn the water on, see how it flows, check your areas that you have the joints and the tape on to make sure there's no leaking. You can hit that switch and divert the water over to the handheld wand. We have good water pressure, no leaking at any of the places that we screwed together, and we can switch it right back over by hitting that switch. Very easy to do and something that you can definitely do yourself. I hope you all enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. I have a lot of videos on my channel showing all kinds of projects around the house, DIY, upgrades, everything from electrical to drywall to tile, even building a full casita from the ground up. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.